Perfection looks powerful, but behind the polished mask hides exhaustion, anxiety, and self-doubt. This video reveals why chasing flawlessness can secretly destroy happiness and how breaking free from the perfectionism trap can unlock real confidence, growth, and peace. Discover the psychology behind perfection and the path to freedom. Chapter 1: Why do people strive for perfection? Perfection often feels like a shining star, just out of reach. Many people spend their lives chasing it, believing that if they can finally grasp it, everything will fall into place. But why do we crave perfection so deeply? The answer lies in the way our minds are shaped by experiences, expectations, and the stories we tell ourselves. For some, perfectionism begins in childhood. Imagine a child who is praised only when they bring home flawless grades or perform without mistakes. Over time, they learn that love and approval are tied to being perfect. This belief can grow stronger as they enter adulthood, where society often rewards achievement and flawless presentation. The message becomes clear: if you want to be valued, you must be perfect. Others develop perfectionist tendencies from personality traits. People who are naturally conscientious or detail-oriented may feel an inner drive to polish every corner of their work. While these traits can be strengths, they can also turn into chains when the pursuit of excellence becomes an obsession. Instead of enjoying the process, the person feels trapped in a cycle of endless improvement, never satisfied with the result. Culture also plays a powerful role. Social media, advertising, and even workplace environments often present images of flawless success. We see carefully edited photos, polished resumes, and stories of people who seem to have it all. It's easy to believe that everyone else is living perfectly, and that we must catch up. This illusion fuels the desire to hide flaws and present a spotless version of ourselves, even if it means sacrificing authenticity. Perfectionism can also be linked to fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being seen as not enough. When fear drives us, perfection becomes a shield. If everything is flawless, then maybe no one will criticize us. Maybe we won't feel the sting of disappointment. But the truth is, perfection doesn't protect us. It isolates us. It keeps us from showing our real selves, the ones that people can truly connect with. Think about how often you've delayed finishing something because it wasn't perfect yet. That hesitation is perfectionism whispering in your ear, telling you it's safer to wait than to risk imperfection. But ironically, waiting often means missing opportunities, experiences, and growth. The chase for perfection becomes a trap, holding us back instead of pushing us forward. At this point, it's worth pausing. If you're finding these insights meaningful, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss the rest of this journey into understanding perfectionism and how to break free from it. Subscribing is a simple step, but it ensures you stay connected to ideas that can genuinely change the way you see yourself. Returning to the roots of perfectionism, it's important to recognize that the desire for perfection isn't inherently bad. Striving for excellence can inspire creativity, discipline, and achievement. The problem arises when excellence turns into obsession, when the goal is no longer growth, but flawless performance. That's when perfectionism stops being a motivator and starts being a burden. Understanding why people strive for perfection is the first step toward change. When we see the forces at play, childhood conditioning, personality traits, cultural illusions, and fear, we can begin to question them. Do these beliefs truly serve us? Or are they keeping us locked in a cycle that drains our energy and joy? By asking these questions, we open the door to a new perspective, one where imperfection is not a weakness, but a sign of humanity. Chapter 2: The Hidden Costs of Perfectionism. Perfectionism often wears a glamorous disguise. On the surface, it looks like ambition, discipline, and success. People admire the one who always delivers flawless work, who never seems to make mistakes. But beneath that polished exterior lies a heavy burden. The hidden costs of perfectionism are rarely talked about, yet they shape lives in profound ways. One of the most damaging costs is anxiety. When every action must be flawless, the mind becomes a battlefield. Small errors feel catastrophic, and the fear of making mistakes grows louder with each attempt. Imagine writing an email and rereading it 10 times, terrified that a single misplaced word will ruin your reputation. That constant vigilance drains energy, leaving little room for creativity or joy. Closely tied to anxiety is procrastination. It may sound strange, but perfectionists often delay tasks because they fear they won't meet their own impossible standards. Instead of starting, they wait, polish, and hesitate. The project sits untouched, not because they don't care, but because the thought of producing something less than perfect feels unbearable. Deadlines loom, stress builds, and opportunities slip away. Burnout is another hidden cost. Perfectionists push themselves relentlessly, believing rest is a luxury they cannot afford. They stay up late, reworking details that no one else would notice. Over time, exhaustion sets in. The body grows weary, the mind foggy, and the spirit drained. What began as a drive for excellence becomes a cycle of fatigue and frustration. Relationships also suffer. Perfectionism doesn't stay confined to personal goals. It spills into how people treat others. A perfectionist partner may criticize small flaws, a perfectionist parent may demand too much from their child, and a perfectionist colleague may struggle to delegate. These patterns create tension, erode trust, and leave loved ones feeling judged instead of supported. The pursuit of flawlessness can build walls where connection should thrive. Self-esteem takes a heavy hit as well. Perfectionists often tie their worth to achievements. If they succeed, they feel valuable. If they fall short, even slightly, they feel worthless. This fragile sense of identity makes them vulnerable to constant self-criticism. The voice inside their head rarely celebrates progress, it only points out what's missing. Over time, this inner dialogue becomes a prison, trapping them in cycles of doubt and shame. Another hidden cost is the loss of authenticity. In trying to appear perfect, people hide their true selves. They cover up flaws, mask vulnerabilities, and present a polished version of life. But authenticity is what creates genuine connection. When perfectionism strips that away, relationships become shallow, and the person feels unseen. The irony is clear. In trying to be perfect, they lose the very thing that makes them human. Perfectionism also steals joy from achievements. Imagine finishing a project after weeks of hard work. Instead of celebrating, the perfectionist immediately spots flaws and thinks about what could have been better. The moment of success vanishes, replaced by dissatisfaction. Achievements become hollow, never enough to satisfy the endless hunger for flawlessness. The costs of perfectionism ripple outward. Anxiety, procrastination, burnout, strained relationships, low self-esteem, loss of authenticity, and joyless achievements, all of these weigh heavily on the person who chases perfection. What makes it more painful is that these costs are often invisible to others. From the outside, the perfectionist looks accomplished. Inside, they are struggling. Recognizing these hidden costs is crucial. It allows us to see perfectionism not as a harmless quirk, but as a serious obstacle to well-being. By naming the toll it takes, we begin to understand why breaking free matters. The pursuit of perfection may promise success, but the price it demands is far too high. Chapter 3, Breaking Free: How to Overcome Perfectionism. Perfectionism may feel like an unshakable shadow, but it is possible to step out of its grip. Breaking free doesn't mean abandoning ambition or lowering standards. It means learning to balance the desire for excellence with compassion, authenticity, and a healthier mindset. The journey begins with awareness, and awareness leads to change. The first step is recognizing that mistakes are not enemies. They are teachers. Every error carries a lesson. and every imperfection reveals humanity. When we shift our perspective, mistakes stop being proof of failure and start becoming opportunities for growth. Imagine a painter who embraces each brushstroke, even the uneven ones, as part of the final masterpiece. That acceptance transforms the process into something joyful instead of stressful. Another powerful tool is self-compassion. Perfectionists often speak to themselves with harsh words, criticizing every flaw. But what if that inner voice became kinder? Self-compassion means treating yourself the way you would treat a friend, with patience, encouragement, and forgiveness. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," you learn to say, "I'm doing my best," and that's valuable. This shift softens the pressure and creates space for growth. Setting realistic goals is also essential. Perfectionists tend to aim for flawless outcomes, which are impossible to achieve. By breaking goals into smaller, achievable steps, progress becomes visible and rewarding. For example, instead of demanding a perfect project, focus on completing one meaningful part at a time. Each step builds confidence, and the final result feels less overwhelming. Learning to reframe failure is another key strategy. Failure is often seen as the ultimate enemy, but in reality, it is a natural part of success. Every inventor, artist, and leader has faced setbacks. What separates them is not perfection, but persistence. When failure is reframed as feedback, it loses its sting. It becomes a guide pointing toward improvement rather than a verdict of inadequacy. Mindfulness can also help loosen perfectionism's grip. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to stay present instead of obsessing over past mistakes or future outcomes. A simple breathing exercise or a moment of reflection can calm the racing thoughts that fuel perfectionism. In the present moment, flaws lose their power and life feels more manageable. Another step is embracing authenticity. Perfectionism often pushes people to hide their true selves, but authenticity builds connection. Showing vulnerability, admitting mistakes, and sharing real experiences make relationships stronger. People connect not with flawless images, but with genuine stories. When you allow yourself to be authentic, you discover that imperfection is not a weakness, it is the bridge to deeper bonds. It's also important to celebrate progress, not just results. Perfectionists often dismiss achievements because they see only what's missing. By pausing to acknowledge effort and growth, you reclaim joy. Even small victories deserve recognition. This practice rewires the mind to value the journey instead of obsessing over the destination. Breaking free from perfectionism is not about sudden transformation. It is a gradual process built on small changes and consistent practice. Each time you embrace a mistake, speak kindly to yourself, set realistic goals, reframe failure, practice mindfulness, show authenticity, or celebrate progress, you take a step toward freedom. The path away from perfectionism leads to a life filled with resilience, creativity, and peace. It allows you to pursue excellence without being crushed by its weight. It opens the door to joy in achievements, connection in relationships, and confidence in yourself. Perfection may always whisper in the background, but it no longer controls the story. The story becomes yours, imperfect, authentic, and beautifully human.